Welcome back to Amazing Process Factory. Today, we're taking you inside one of the biggest steel plants in South Korea, Dongkook Steel. They turn scrap metal into massive H-beams, and you won't believe the sheer scale of this process. Imagine a truckload of scrap metal costing around $8,000. Yeah, it's wild, but even crazier. They produce 3.7 million tons of molten steel every minute, enough to build 550 Eiffel Towers every single year. If that doesn't make you want to start collecting scrap metal, I don't know what will. First things first, we need scrap metal. If Otto Octavius had his claws on this process, he could drop 110 tons of scrap into the furnace at once. But for now, we'll leave that to the experts. Watch as this massive scrap basket moves overhead and dumps a huge load into the electric furnace. The heat in this furnace is no joke. The electrodes start melting the scrap right away, and you can almost hear the metal scream as it's attacked by those intense electric currents. It's hot enough to melt gears, people. Now, you'll notice that some impurities rise to the surface in the form of slag. This part is pretty neat. Dongkook recycles the slag, so nothing goes to waste. Meanwhile, the ladle is getting preheated and ready for molten steel. Fun fact, the refractory bricks inside the ladle are designed to withstand extreme heat, just like a giant pizza oven. You can check out our brickmaking video at the end for more on how these things are built. Now, let's dive into the continuous casting process. What's that, you ask? It's when molten steel is poured continuously into a mold, creating a long strand of metal that we then cut down to size. This is where things start to get really interesting. You can almost feel the heat radiating through the screen as molten steel flows into shape. And while this may look like something out of Minecraft, trust me, the real-life process is way more exciting. To turn that steel into H-beams, we need to make it flexible, so into the reheating furnace it goes. I couldn't get too close to show you the action, but check out the screen, it's all happening in there. Once the steel's ready, it heads to the roughing mill, where it gets rolled back and forth 3 or 4 times. After this, it's sent to the finishing mill, where horizontal and vertical rollers give it that iconic H shape. This part is all about precision. The H-beams are hot as they come off the rollers, glowing a fiery orange before they hit the cooling bed. As they cool, they turn a grayish color, but don't be fooled, they're still hot enough to create instant steam. At this point, we need to trim both ends of the H-beam to size, a little snip snip, and we're done. Now let's switch gears and look at rebar production, another essential product made here at Dongkook Steel. We start by reheating the steel beams again, just like we did for the H-beams. But instead of shaping them into wide, structural beams, we're thinning them out. The rolling process makes the steel thinner, longer, and faster. The cooling is crazy fast 236 meters per second, which is about 130 kilometers per hour or 80 miles per hour. Can you imagine cooling steel at that speed? As the rebar cools, we cut it down to size using high-speed blades. And if you thought wrapping presents was hard, try coiling rebar. It's like a giant spool of thread, but made of solid steel. The machines are doing an incredible job tying these rebars into neat 2-ton bundles. Honestly, who wouldn't want a bundle of rebar as a Christmas gift? And there you have it, the entire process from scrap to steel. From massive H-beams to coiled rebar, Dongkook Steel is turning waste into high-quality products that are used all around the world. It's fascinating to see how technology and engineering come together in these huge automated factories to create something that supports entire cities. Thanks for watching. For more awesome factory videos, check out our brickmaking and steel production playlists. See you next time. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. We'll be back soon with more incredible manufacturing processes. But until then, keep those imaginations rolling like hot steel.